What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Life with J Quarter, back with another banger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as y'all see by the title, I'm explaining my palate, my taste palette. You feel me? So I'm trying new things. This is an Asian cuisine. I'm not really adverse in Asian cuisines. You know, of course, my little Chinese food spots. You know, the orange chicken, the beef and broccoli, you know what I'm saying, the wonton, you know what I mean, all that. But this is a like a wonton lasagna something. I don't know. But I want to try it. And yeah, it's like a little mukbang. I'm gonna show y'all what it looked like, and we're gonna get into the video. All right, y'all know I gotta have my plastics and my paper plates, man. That's a go-to right there. All right, this is what it look like. Okay. It's a chicken wonton lasagna. Yeah. I'm gonna dig in. All right, man. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? And I have to go get me a butter knife, you know what I'm saying? But I'm ready to dig in. I'm ready to chop it up with y'all real fast. It's gonna be a short quick little video. And you know, got the best water in the world, Crystal Geyser. I don't care what nobody say, Crystal Geyser tastes the best. It's other waters that taste good, but my preference, plus the price range, Crystal Geyser, hands down. I hope by the time y'all watching this, man, y'all on y'all grind. I've been doing y'all 2025 goals. You know what I'm saying? Let me go in for the first bite. See what it's hitting for. I think I got all noodle for that one. Now, that's good. That's good right there. Ooh, and got a little spice to it. Let me get one more bite, then I'm gonna chop it up with y'all. Try the chicken. Okay. All right. All right. Well, yeah, man. If you're watching this video, let me know. Let me know what you cutting off 2026. You feel me? I feel like it's a lot we should cut off. I feel like people who call you when you sleep and then ask, oh, you asleep? Cut them off immediately. People that call you and ask if you busy, and when you say, yeah, I'm doing something, they be like, all right, just call me back when you're not busy. When I answer the phone for you already, you should have just, you know what I'm saying? Just tell me, we already on the phone. You already didn't cut my time. But I'm still working out my goals and whatnot. Speaking of working out, past 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Past 2 days, I felt like I got hit by a bus. I'm still a little sore now, but that first day of being sore, because the first day I wasn't sore. Second day I wasn't sore. But that third day, when my Achilles start tightening up, oh yeah. That's how I knew I'm getting old. I used to just be able to bounce back and running. Even though I hate running, I feel like in 2026, somebody needs to invent something that you can increase, like your endurance and stamina, without having to run. The thing with mukbangs, right? That it's hard for me to grasp. I'm literally talking to myself, like, out loud. And it's hard to hold a conversation when there is no other side. There is no, you feel me? Like, at least with streaming, you can read the comments. If I was reacting, I could react to the video. But mukbangs, solo, and I'm not, like, the food is good. Like, I don't know, I never had Asian food, so, well, I'll take it back. I had Asian food. I never had, like, this. So I don't know if, like, compared to other stuff or whatever. I like it. I think it's good. Maybe this is, maybe I need to dive more into Asian food, because I don't really see a lot of big Asians. Like, they fairly like, you know, slimmer. And then when they do start working out, a lot of them be like, like calisthenic, like just beast, just all that. But yeah, as I said in the other videos, I've been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And so far, the gist of what I've been reading, and I'm only telling y'all this because they say when you hear information, if you just hear it, you only retain 2%. If you write it down, you retain 20%. But if you say it, tell it to somebody else, you retain about 67%. So I'm telling y'all. So far, what I read is basically about how most people tell you, get good grades, go to college, you're going to get a good job, right? But how many smart people do we know that's not wealthy, or that's living paycheck to paycheck, or in debt, or whatever? So basically, the methods that was used when school was first created, they weren't to teaching people to be successful. It was teaching people to be employees. Hence, while, you know, they give you nutrition and lunch, that's a 15 and a 30. You know what I'm saying? Or a 10 and a 30, whatever. So it's transitioning you to, you know what I'm saying? But what so far what I read, you got to combine the two, right? So you got to combine what you learn and also combine it to real world things, right? So make it work for you instead of working for it, right? So of course you need to learn how to read, math, depending on your field, science, but it's nice to know how the body works and all that. But you take the gist of those things and you apply it to the real world. How can I take this? How can I understand how human beings think and turn that into a product that people want to buy? How can I understand, you know, math and numbers and graphs and turn that into accounting with business? So basically he was showing how his dad was, you know, poor, and I believe his friend's dad, I ain't read that much into the book yet, but his friend's dad at the time was poor, but both of their mindsets was different. So basically, the poor dad hated talking about money. He equated working hard to making money, which keeps you in the cycle. They call it the rat race. And you got to get outside the track. And they say wealthy people or rich people live outside the track. So the rat race is basically you work hard to make money, then you make money and you end up spending more, or you end up obtaining more. And then when you obtain more, you end up having to work hard to get more money to maintain what you obtain. So it's a rat race. You're in a wheel. You know what I'm saying? You're not going nowhere because you can't get to the next level, because every time you get to the next level, you equate working harder with more money, which is why they say it's not who worked the hardest, it's who works the most efficient. You know what I'm saying? And then the opposite, he encouraged talking about money. He understood you don't want to be an employee, you want to be the person hiring the employee. You know what I'm saying? So, and also that let your money work for you, don't work for the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got so far. I feel like it's a good book. I'm hoping I get like some gems. I've been writing in my journal and all that. Try to take notes on it. So at least when I get around certain people, because, you know, perception is everything. You perceive me a certain way, you're going to treat me a certain way. And, you know, I'm already a quote-unquote minority. So if you come off in a certain light, they're going to always treat you in that certain light. So if I come off knowing a little bit about finance, and that's another thing they said, learning how money works. A lot of people don't learn how money works because when you grow up, your knowledge of money comes from the people that's around you. It don't come from school. School don't teach you how to become wealthy. It teaches you how to, you know, discipline, be smart, and become a worker. But in order to learn about money, you have to either get it from somebody or search it on your own. It doesn't come from the regular education. So a lot of the times people don't know about money because all they see is their parents. So if I know my parents went to college, they got a good job, and that's how we maintain the household, that's all I know. If you ask your parents, how do you make $100 million if they never made $100 million, or they don't know somebody who made $100 million, they don't really know how to tell you. But if you ask, how do I get a good job? Oh yeah, you gotta put this on your resume, you dress like this in an interview, you speak like this, and that's how you get a good job. So going back to perception, it may not be, you know, the truth. I may not come off as well-versed or well-educated in said area, but the moment I speak and you start to understand, like, oh, he may know what he's talking about a little bit, and we converse, then it's like, okay, they could perceive me in a different light. They could, you know, the little guard, because I get it. I'm not prejudiced or nothing like that. But it's the truth. If I'm walking down the street and I see somebody mean mugging, hand in the sweater, hoodie on, I'm not gonna think he wanted to teach me about the gospel. I'm not gonna think, oh, this man is about to say something about financial literacy. I'm thinking, this nigga about to rob me. He's about to cause harm. As simple as that. So, now, of course, with that, that's just my instincts. I feel like that's just me being paranoid, or just human nature. Like, you see danger, you don't run into danger. You kind of brace yourself. But only difference is I'm confident that I wouldn't be harmed. So I'm not super standoffish. So like if said person was walking towards me and they said, excuse me, or hey bro, or something like that, I'm gonna respond. I'm not finna tuck my tail and run. But the moment he get aggressive and I don't know what's in that pocket, all right. But yeah, so I've been reading that. I got a whole lot of gems I'm gonna touch on. And I'm also gotta prepare for this trip. I'm going out the country. So that's another reason why I'm trying to get my body good. I went out the country before where I was drinking, eating bad, eating out, doing all types of bad habits. I looked at some of them pictures. I'm like, I was kind of getting a little dad bod. The definition started to leave. Guts started to hang a little bit. I'm sitting there like, that's not a good look. That's definitely not what I want to be seen as. The worst, I think the worst is when you see yourself on other people's videos, or you in the background of somebody else's video. You be sitting there like, ew, that me? But yeah, so I'm getting that right. And then also, I've been doing it my way all my life. Well, maybe like a good 10 years. Because I think before like 16, 17, thinking like before being a teenager, up until a certain point, my parents was like really telling me how to navigate life. But after a certain point, maybe like, I don't know, somewhere in my teen years, they was just like, hey, you gonna figure it out. We gonna be here and go on about your life. And I think because they set the foundation, I ain't veer off far. I did my regular explorations, but I ain't do nothing crazy. Back to the book. My personal belief when it comes to like education, going to college, getting a job, whatever. I think the main goal is to find what you want to do in your passion as soon as possible. Because if you do that, you know which direction you should be going in sooner. So if I wanted to be a doctor in 10th grade, I know the steps I had to take to become a doctor immediately. Now, if I want to, I don't know, open a candle business or something like that, I know right after high school, I should be taking steps towards that business. And all the time, your passion doesn't lead to being in a classroom, which is understandable. But what I do advise for the people that don't know, like you graduate high school, I don't know what I want to do. Some people may not agree with me, but I feel like go to college. Go to college. It don't have to be like super far from the house, but venture off a little bit from the house. Stay on campus at least for a semester, and experience the world from a different point of view. Like I know when I went to college, all I knew up until that point, like 16, 17, was Los Angeles, Inglewood, and maybe like a couple like close cities. Like I really didn't go to Long Beach, really ain't go to Compton. I knew of Carson, but I really wasn't in Carson. So like all these areas, I was literally in LA and LA only. That's all I knew. And then I went play basketball, ended up going to Vegas, but I was a kid, so Vegas wasn't an experience. So I didn't really see a lot of perspectives from a lot of different people. Then that's when I went to college, and then I started meeting people. I didn't even know what the IE was. I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard about it, but I didn't know what it was. Like, what is the IE? Met people from the IE. Then I started meeting people that, oh yeah, I'm from LA. I'd be like, what part? And they'd be like, Whittier. I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But I started meeting people from Texas, out of state, and all that stuff. So it expanded my mind to think of the world differently and gain knowledge. And then I slowly start like developing who I was as a man, who I wanted to be. So I would advise, if you don't know what to do at 17, you need to venture out from the norm. So even if you, let's say you have a job opportunity that for like a couple months you get away from the house and you realize how to live on your own a little bit, do that. But yeah, at a teenage age, like if I could go back to being a teenager, I would take so many risks. Like not risk like risk of life or something like that, but risk like if you fail, you're gonna end up back at the crib with your mom and dad. Which is like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people be scared to take risks. Like, realistically, if I go back to being 17, of course, I would pick up the camera because I feel like really all my teenage years and early adulthood, like, if I would have had a camera out, I probably would have been somewhere crazy right now. I would have been in a multi-million-dollar mansion just because of the surroundings I was with, the people I was with, like, everything was, you know, it was before real life hit. When real life hit, that's when your friends start, you know, dissing themselves. They, oh, you know, hey, you want to go such and such? Oh, I got work, or you feel me? So people start having kids, like real life start hitting. But I feel like, yeah, take a risk, and I feel like that's what the main part of the book so far is, like getting outside the rat race, getting outside of the norm. The norm is get good grades, go to a nice school, get good grades there. And those companies, the multi-million-dollar companies, billion-dollar companies will see you and get you a good job, boom. And then you worry about your pension, your retirement fund, all this stuff. Then, you know, you make good money, you go buy you nice things. You got to buy you somewhere to live that's nice. Get you a decent car. Then after that, you meet somebody. Y'all have a kid. Now you put money away for the kid. You spend money for the kid. But now that you're spending so much money, you got to make more money. You feel me? So you in a circle. You in a circle. But I feel like it's the main thing I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to better myself. That's why I'm doing things outside of my norm. I'm getting up running. I'm trying Asian food. I'm recording. I'm reading. I'm trying to expand my brain. I feel like eventually I'm gonna start meeting people. Cause it's only like 4 days. Only 4 days into January. Everybody be motivated in January. That's the month to be motivated. January should be changed to motivationary. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like I'm on the right track. And if I stay on this track, eventually something gonna hit. Something gonna change, something gonna switch up. I'm gonna meet somebody, I'm gonna connect with somebody, and then it'd be like, okay, now it makes sense. Cause I feel like I can hold my own when it comes to like just talking to anybody at any type of world. Like if it comes from the street world, we can hold a conversation. If you come from an educational side, we can have a conversation. Business side, we can have a conversation. Like I feel like I'm well, you know what I'm saying, well rounded. But when you hone in to certain things and then you come talk to people, they gonna be like, oh, he know what he's talking about. Let's get into business. I like this guy. You know what I'm saying? They just that's the people's favorite line. I like this guy. I like this guy. He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? So not saying I'm seeking approval from anybody, because I'm happy with who I am and in my own skin. But you know, I don't got kids yet, and I'm trying to create generational wealth. That's the goal right there. The goal, get closer to God and receives all his blessings. All this, the world is his. So anything he wants to give me inside of the world, I'm with. You want to place $1 billion in my bank accounts? Do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. I'm not stopping nobody. But hope y'all enjoyed this mukbang, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm figuring this content thing out. We're gonna take it a step at a time. I'm gonna try a new video, see what hit, and go from there. But like, comment, subscribe, man.